If you're in sales out there and you're feeling ignored, disrespected, and you're having a very hard time breaking through the noise, you need the
Stage strategy.
Now, what is the stage strategy? The stage strategy is all about creating content that's going to attract the audience that you are looking for.
The stage strategy is all about building up your personal brand so that you can ultimately create a revenue machine. Now, your personal brand has to get lifted up by multiple stages, and that's what we're going to get into in this video. The next stage, which we are such big fans of, is YouTube. YouTube has become such a phenomenal place to generate leads because you can put original content out there and you can build a community. Think about this for a second. It's your prospects that are subscribing to your channel, interested in your content, then eventually might buy from you. Question is, do you have what it takes to start your own YouTube channel? Because it takes a lot of time. But once you build it up, it's amazing.
And when you have a community, why do you think the notification bell exists? You want to let your people know when that next video is coming out. You've created that need and that attraction, and they're ready for it. And with what you're doing here with a YouTube channel is when you have those videos coming out, you are essentially creating a virtual sales team. You're building up a team where they're taking the content that you're putting out there, they're learning from it, and they're applying it out into the wild. And how powerful is that? Everything you're creating is essentially coming back to you.
Think about that statement. It's so powerful. Every single one of your YouTube videos is like a sales rep. The more that you have out there, the more lines you have in the water.
And that's called efficiency. At the end of the day, content equals conversions.
Think about this. In your YouTube videos, people will scroll down to the description and they will click on your bio link. And from that link, the sky is the limit. They can access your website, a booking link, or even to purchase something directly from that experience. Now that is power.
Now this next one, I'm sure you're very familiar with out there if you've been in sales. This is all about the webinar.
We've hosted hundreds of webinars with some of the most fantastic coaches, professionals, thought leaders, and we've learned that webinars are powerful. Now it does take some production time, but once you get people in a room that are interested in what you're selling, the conversions are limitless. Now here's another thing that you can receive in your webinars. It's feedback, it's getting back data, it's putting your tests out there to see what's working and what's not working. One of the things that we love doing is asking people to put a word or a survey number inside of the comments. And this way we can see what people are interested in. For example, if you guys are interested in learning about prospecting, please put the word prospecting in the comments. And based on how many people actually put that comment in, we can determine what the demand is for that. And that is powerful when it comes to iteration, feedback, and testing out our products.
And if you really want to push the limits, you could put a dub video in the comments. Now, this next part is going to be about social media. I'm sure you've heard of it.
What we love about social media is that it's daily and it gets you top of mind with your prospects. The other thing about social is that you have the ability to iterate quickly. Now, on the stage of social media, you want to be testing. You want to see what's working with your iterations. Do carousel posts work? Do video posts work? Should they be in square or portrait mode? This all comes down to testing. It's so critical to continue to put your content out there and figure out after every week and every month what is working better and what should you stop doing. Remember, 80% of your revenue is going to come from 20% of your efforts. So let's focus on that 20% and get rid of all the things that are unnecessary.
Now, one of the most important phrases you're going to utter when you're on social media after whatever you're saying is link in bio below. Now, the reason this is important is because when you have the phrase at the end of what you're saying, link in bio below, it immediately, like a call to action with dub videos, directs the person to what they need to be looking at to get more information.
So remember, always have a call to action on this stage that you've created, whatever that may be, whether it's your podcast, your social posts, your YouTube videos, even your book. The last thing that people should hear from your content is where they can learn more and potentially buy.
Now, when we're talking about stages here, obviously there's some of the biggest stages in the world we're talking about. When you talk about social media and YouTube, you don't get bigger stages than that. But it's also about remembering about those other smaller stages, like the podcasts, like books, all these other areas where they make an impact, but they're not as big, but they still make an impact. You've got to remember that.
The next stage that we want to talk about is writing your book. Now, the great thing about having your own book is that it gives you instant credibility. It makes you the expert on a certain subject matter, and that is so critical when it comes to sales. When you have a book, you get to give someone a gift. And so think about that. When you give someone the gift of knowledge, it stays on their desk or on their bookshelf. And when they look at it, they will remember you. And that just means that you and your company are more top of mind. And best of all, you get to document your learnings and have that as a keepsake for yourself.
And it's great for other people to have as well. They can have it as their keepsake.
And it's also having something great that you can give your kids.
We want to thank you so much for watching this episode. And obviously, if you liked it, please like, subscribe, comment below, hit that little notification bell so you know when we're doing our new episode. And if you use dub, put a dub video into the comments. We love when people do that. Also, remember, the stage strategy is all about getting yourself out there. It's a pull exercise at the end of the day. You know, you have push and pull. You don't want to push people away. The sales environment for years has been pushing people away with the following up and the cold calls and all that other stuff. This is about putting yourself on multiple stages to pull in that audience. So we're super happy to bring you this content, and we are all about helping sales leaders and people in general in sales elevate, educate, and entertain. That's what we're all about. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you at the next episode. This is all about creating content that's going to attract the viewers that you're looking for and bring those niche viewers. You know what? I'm going to start over because that makes no sense whatsoever. Did that make any sense, Ruben? Niche viewers. We want buyers, not viewers. Can we use this for outtakes? Okay, that sounds pretty good. Okay, I'm going to hit pause right now.